All right, hey. Hi, so my name is Paige. I'm a third generation realtor. I know you've heard this already.
No, just part of it.
Okay.
You're good.
So if you have met me before and you're hearing this again for the second time, I'm sorry. But I'm Paige Case. I'm a third generation realtor here. I'm on ALC as well. And my favorite thing about real estate is marketing. So originally when I was going to school, I was going to school for early childhood education, and partly for the arts and crafts. And so what I realized after starting school is that as much as I love the children, I really wanted the flexibility in my schedule. So I wanted to find a different career that would still enable me to help people, but do it on my own terms where I can pick and choose my clients accordingly. So to give you a little information about my business and the way that I grew it, my goal for the year is 10 million in business over the span of 30 transactions. So far for the year, I'm at 17 transactions and about 6.5 million in pending and closed. So my revised goal is now 18 million. Most of that, the way I got there, is through my marketing. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit today about how I do my marketing. My goal for you is that you take some of these things and you put them in your toolbox, but for the love of God, like don't take all of it, because it's so overwhelming when you first hear everything. And I know that when I was starting to figure out my marketing plan, I wanted to do everything. And I hear Aubrey say all the time, if you go into the woods and you chop a little bit at all the trees, nothing's going to fall over. But if you chop really hard at one or two of the trees, eventually one or two of them is going to fall over. So get really good at one of the things that you love or two of the things that you love. If some of it sticks out to you and you want to talk about it a little bit further, or if we did touch something that you want to talk about and you want to meet with me one-on-one, please feel free to send me an email and I'm happy to sit down with you and figure out what we can do to curate a marketing strategy for your business. So this is going to be really casual. So if at any point you have any questions, stop me and we'll talk about it. I'm not going to take your entire afternoon either. This might be 30 minutes to an hour. That's a little bit about me. So what I really focused in on is my sphere and loving on my sphere and trying to get referrals out of my sphere. So step one is always going to be building your sphere. How do I build my network? How do I build my database? You probably know all of the people that are going to be in your database already. You just haven't identified them as perhaps a potential lead resource. So for example, the girl that does your nails, that you sit with her for an hour every 2 weeks, she's a great lead generation resource because she sits with people for hours every week. The girl that cuts your hair, the person that mows your lawn, all these people that you interact with, even the person that delivers your mail. If you meet them at the mailbox and say, hey, how's it going? Make sure they know you're a realtor because they meet a bunch of other people at the mailbox. So something to consider would be to sit down, and I know they teach this in Ignite, but sit down and identify who are some of the people that I'm coming into contact a lot and how can I give back to them. So when I was growing my sphere, a couple of things that I did and a few of the things that we're going to talk on today are client appreciation events, pop buys, calls, email blasts, mailing campaigns. We're going to talk about farming, door knocking, which is how I built my business, email blasts, videos, mailers on how to market your listings that you have or perhaps some of your friends' listings. And then we're going to go over all of it and answer some questions. So real quick, let's start with events because they're my favorite. So my event last year was a client appreciation event. My first client appreciation event, I had maybe 10 people show up. It wasn't a lot. And some of them were just my friends and they were there for moral support. But they did end up generating business for me. They brought some friends with them and of course they referred business to me as well. The following year, I had double or triple that. And of course it grew and grew and grew. Last year was our first one that we did a virtual event. So because of COVID, we had a virtual event and I found it to be my largest turnout where everybody that was there brought at least one person with them, which was awesome. And I got business off of the people that came who I didn't even know. So what we did was a wine client, I'm Italian, so we did a wine client appreciation event. So around the world in 3 rosés. I hired an event planner, Sean O'Keefe, who I'm happy to supply you with his contact information. He has a lot of connections because he does a lot of weddings. So he's got a lot of connections in the restaurant business and in all of those industries, especially surrounding alcohol. So this was amazing because it was so many touches. It was a touch to my sphere. Hey, how's it going? By the way, do you drink? Cool. Would you like to come to my client appreciation event? Then it was an invitation in the mail. Hey, can't wait to see you at my client appreciation event. And then it was a text message as well. Hey, I'm going to be dropping wine off at your door. Make sure that you don't leave it outside. Refrigerate this one and that one. And then it was, hey, guess what? We're going around the world in free rosés in about an hour. Make sure that you're there. And then I didn't talk at all on the event. Sean did most of the talking. And it was a 1-hour Zoom call. We had sommelier, we had 3 of the vineyard owners that were there, and we tried all the wines. Everyone had a blast. And then afterwards, hey, thank you so much in the mail for coming to my event. So that was, if you need 36 touches, that was at least a third of them right there. And then I was getting all of these Facebook messages. I was getting people tag me in their Instagram photos. Halfway through the event, Sean requested that everybody stop what they're doing and take a selfie with their laptop so that they could post on their social media, and he encouraged that, and then of course asked me to. And then I took the video, which we had recorded on Zoom, and made that into a marketing piece, hired a videographer to turn it into a quick 30-second, this is something that we did for our clients. If you were there, thanks. If you weren't, come next year. And then push that out in my newsletters. So now everybody knows, and then put it on Facebook and everywhere else. So now everybody knows, hey, this is something that's really cool that she's doing. Some of the other client appreciation events that we've done, we did a Sur La Table cooking class, which was a lot of fun. We did, and that was so great, we did it twice. And some of the people, we had repeat people because you can only have so many seats in the class. Again, I'm not doing any of the talking for that one, which is great. The chef is doing most of the talking, so I'll get up at the beginning. Hey, thanks so much for being here. It's so lovely to see everybody. Hug, hug. By the way, we have a couple giveaways from some of our sponsors, people that you already know. Danica is my attorney, so she gave away like an Amazon Alexa. We had gift card giveaways from the lenders that my buyers have used, my home inspection company. I've got one vendor for everything. They all know me and love me. They were there too. So they offered to supply some things that we could give away. And just about everybody walked away with something, which was awesome. So something to consider for client appreciation events. My very first one, like I mentioned, so I'm 28 years old. I'm in my 6th year. When I started, I was like 21, 22. So we did a yoga event, which we had a yoga studio sponsor it. It was a local studio. They needed new clients anyway. They ended up signing 2 of the people that came as new members in their yoga studio. So it worked out for them. It was free for me, and my clients loved it. Afterwards, I was at Engel Volkers, so our shop was right next door. It was Highlands Yoga. So afterwards, we went next door and we had a catered brunch. So again, little things that you can consider, stuff around your lifestyle as well. If you're not ready for a client appreciation event, but you go to the gym a lot, maybe have water bottles made that has your contact information on it. And on the back side of that, a lender's contact information. So the lender pays for the water bottles, you're not paying for them. Leave them at your gym at the front desk. So when people come in and they forgot their water bottle, they have a reusable water bottle that they can just leave in their car. So little things like that. I've done Yetis as well. My lender has sponsored Yeti mugs for me. Yep, and so it had my contact information on one side, his on the other side. Really cool things that if you do a lot of business with one person, they want you to keep giving them business. They're willing to do that, and their advertising's on it. They don't have to design it, they don't have to order it, all they have to do is pay for it. Cool. So those are some of the events that I've done. They've been really successful. I have a call on Friday with my event planners, so we're gonna figure out what we're doing this year. But it'll be around September to make sure that I don't miss my events or miss my marketing because I am very busy. I put it in my calendar, like, hey, the first Tuesday of every week, did you fill out, it literally says, did you fill out your newsletter form? And then on Thursday, newsletter form go out. So make sure that I hit all of those things. While we're talking about newsletters, let's skip to email blasts before I do. Any questions on client appreciation events? All right, cool. All right, so email blast. I love my newsletter. I get so much business off of my newsletter. It's bonkers. It's $125 a month through Marist Inc. is who I use, and it is absolutely incredible. It takes me 5 minutes to fill out my form. She has everything pretty much already done for me. I just pick A or B, 1 or 2. What do I want my newsletter to look like? It has a little section at the top of my newsletter that looks like I wrote it, and it's a little message to my clients. I didn't write it, but Marist and Andrew know me well enough that they just write it like it sounds like me, and it's maybe 2 paragraphs. My clients love it. It's through MailChimp. You can do surveys through MailChimp. So I have started embedding a survey into my newsletter that says, hey, coffee's on me. Who do you know that wants to buy a house this year? Fill out my survey. So it has your contact information, your friend's contact information, when you think they want to buy, do you mind if I follow up with them? What's the best way to send you a Starbucks gift card? So something to consider if you're doing newsletters and you have MailChimp, embed a survey so that you can get their contact information of their friends. To fill my database in MailChimp with contacts, I use a system called SalesQL. Sales Q as in queen, L as in llama, I don't know. So it's amazing. You go on LinkedIn, you add whomever. You go on to SalesQL. You can pull 100 emails for free per month, or you can get a paid service through them, and they have different packages, 500, 1,000 per month, and it'll pull directly from LinkedIn. So where I cannot go on to LinkedIn and see people's emails, this system has a way to go through some backdoor, pull that out, and put it in a spreadsheet for me. I then download that spreadsheet, I send it off to Marist. They upload it into MailChimp, because I don't know how MailChimp works, and then it goes off to everyone. So of those people, I've got a ton of business from folks I don't know. So I will go on to LinkedIn and I'll say, most of my clients are young, most of my clients are generally single men. So I'm like, okay, well, what's a field that has younger single men? Software engineers, that's male dominated. So I'll go software engineer Atlanta, it'll pull up a bunch of people, connect. It's easier to do it on your cell phone than it is to do it on your computer. And I just hit the little button all the way down. You can add about 100 people a month. Sometimes you can do a little bit more, but eventually LinkedIn will go, whoa, you're spamming people, what's happening here? I don't know what this is, but we're gonna cut you off. And they'll put your account on freeze for adding people. But you can add a lot of people on LinkedIn. I don't look at my LinkedIn messages. I don't add anybody that's in the real estate field if I don't have to. If they try to connect with me, I'll connect with them. But I'm not looking for investors. I'm not looking for flippers. Realtors are already looking for those people. I'm looking for doctors. I'm looking for people that work at Mercedes-Benz. So that is how I'm pulling from there. I have another system, which I will send you, called Cloud HQ. Cloud HQ will pull your emails. It'll go through your email on Gmail or Yahoo or whatever you're using, and it will see who you have recently emailed, pull out their email contact, put it in a spreadsheet, and then you can upload that into Command or whatever you're using. Like I said, I use MailChimp. So once a month, everyone gets an email from me. On that email, again, it has a survey request. It also has a video embedded. So once a year, I will hire a videographer. We usually do it in December. And I have a bunch of scripts for the year about topics that I think people would want to know about. So what is the difference between due diligence and appraisal? It's a huge one. Inspection and appraisal, people always get that mixed up. I've got a video for that. I'm in due diligence. What does that mean? I'm under contract, now what? So these different topics, 1 to 2 minutes, 2 minutes tops. No one has attention span past 2 minutes. Packed full of information. I try to keep it fun and upbeat. And we're trying to do it like a series. So it's got like a fun little video of me dancing in the beginning to music, and then it cuts to me on the sofa and I'm drinking wine or coffee, depending on season 1 or 2. And it's, hey, so today we're going to be talking about this topic or that topic. I take that video, I send it off to Andrew, Marist. He embeds it into my email blast. So every email has a new video. Super cool, engaging for people. They want to see, hey, what's Paige talking about this month? No one's auto-tuned it yet, which is a win. That's my email blast. You can do it for free through Command. So if you are not ready to put the money into using a system like that or having someone else do it for you, you can do it in Command. It's just a little bit, for me, a little bit more time consuming, but I think that you can schedule them. And if you're good at Command, that would be a really good system to use. They've also got really cool email blasts that can go out more regularly. I only like to send them once a month. But those are my emails, and even if people get them every month, it's so different every month with the videos. I usually get a lot of responses like, hey, I love this. Hey, that was cool. Hey, I've been considering this. Or you can sponsor vendors on there too and do a vendor highlight. So you're giving back to your vendors. Make sure you're giving back to your vendors. So that is my email blast, my monthly newsletters. Questions? All right, sweet. So, yeah, okay, so let's do Popeyes. So Popeyes are my favorite. So I've done a ton of Popeyes. I did one Hakuna Mimosa. So I did a bunch of tiny bottles of champagne and tiny bottles of orange juice. I did them two ways. I did them in a box with shredded paper, and I did them in a cello bag. Both were nice presentation. You can get tiny glass long stems as well if you're going to put them in a box. And then I have them hand delivered. For Mother's Day, I did them. There was something cute and kitschy that we said with it, but I don't remember. Around mimosas for mom. Momosas. It was a mimosa. Yes. And like I said, a lot of my clients are young, so cat mom, dog mom. If you've got a pet and it's not a human, that's fine. Everyone got one of these. For Father's Day one year, we did Not Your Average Joe, and you can get reusable coffee cups from Starbucks. We put a Starbucks gift card in them and delivered those. Those were under $10 and super cute. For Thanksgiving one year, last year, I put together boxes, memory boxes. You can get them for really cheap at Michael's. And in them, we put some sort of cool plaque, happy to have you, thankful for you, whatever, or autumn greetings. We had a small pumpkin and a candy dish that says grateful with candy in it, and then a kitchen towel with leaves. So shredded paper, really super stinking cute, something about thankful for you on the box, and left them at all my clients' doorsteps. A lot of people do pie pot buys, so people can show up at the office and they can pick out a pie. I don't do that because I have clients from Atlanta to Ball Ground. So if you're in Pittsburgh, you're not going to drive to Roswell. And if you're in Ball Ground, you're not coming to Roswell. So if I leave it at your door, though, you're going to get it. So I do that as well. This year, I didn't bring them, they're in my office, but little plugins. So they're super cute. They're snowman plugins from Bath & Body, and they're scented bulbs that smell like winter, and candles, small candles. I got them 90% off like a week ago at Bath & Body because it's like April, May, yeah. So it's no longer Christmas time. So when it comes to holiday stuff, I try to keep it neutral. I have a lot of Indian clients and a lot of Jewish clients, people who don't always celebrate Christmas, and I don't like to assume that everybody celebrates a holiday. So for Easter, for example, we didn't do anything, but next month I'll be doing flower pot buys, where I'm gonna go to Home Depot, I'm gonna tell them I would like to buy 200 flowers from you or 100 potted plants, and I would like a discount on that because I'm buying 100 plants from you. And if you're not going to give me a discount, I'm going to go to Lowe's, and they're going to give me one. So this is how much I'm willing to pay for them. Usually, they'll negotiate with you. Make sure you're negotiating with them because you're a realtor. In my plants, so I get the little stems, the sticks from Amazon. They're the clear plastic sticks. And I put something in here. This is one that I did with mums. I did a potted mums pot buy 2 years ago. People love them. I'm thankful for the referral of your friends, family, and business associates. Thank you for helping me grow my business. Happy Thanksgiving. And then my contact information on it. When you leave something at somebody's door, especially if it's a holiday, take a picture of it and send it to them so they know, one, there's something there. 2, don't leave it outside. And 3, like, hey, I sent this to you. It's not a creepy thing. Yeah. For, let's see, other pot buys that I've done, we've done a lot. But those are, I would say those are probably my favorite. When I'm dropping something in the mail, or if I'm leaving something at your door that has a card, I will always wax seal it My wax seal looks like this. Wax sealing is super easy. It's so easy that I brought it with you so you can see. It is a glue gun. That's it. You're not heating it up with a lighter. You're plugging it in. My bigger one's at home. This is like my baby travel one because I wax seal everything. Baby glue gun. You buy the sticks on Amazon and a wax sealer.
What's on the seal?
I've got a bunch. This is my rose. I have a key. I have a P for Paige. And I've got a couple others. So it just depends on what I'm doing. My rose is usually a little bit more personal.
That's great. Where did you get that from?
Amazon. Buy anything on Amazon. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do a bunch of them. Get one with a metal stick. So what I have learned from a lot of trial and error is that if you use a wooden one, it will conduct heat, and you have to leave it on the wax until the wax fully sets or dries, and then you can peel it off. But eventually this will heat up and it'll get really hot. So if you have a metal stick, then you can like maybe do 3 or 4 envelopes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put your wax sealer in a cup of ice. It'll chill it super quick, and then you'll be ready to go again. So try not to use one with a wooden stick unless you're doing 1 or 2. Yeah.
Great.
So I would say that's probably good on pop buys, unless you guys have any questions on them, or if you'd like to talk about some that maybe you're considering doing. Yeah.
The pop buys, are they strictly for clients that you have helped?
No.
No.
No, it's for anyone.
Anybody?
So if I've got somebody that, I have a couple clients, they're just great referral bases. The girl that does my hair sends me so much business. It's insane. Like I feel like I should go get a haircut more because she helps me so much. So it's for whoever sends me a lot of business. It's for someone I will be working with in the future. It's for anyone that's a past client. Even if I had somebody where we went under contract, it didn't work out, they're renting, they're gonna buy from me eventually. So I'll give them like a $10 gift. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm gonna make a few grand off them. So like here's, yeah. Okay, those are my pop buys. So if let's talk about mailing. Let's talk about mailing. So mailers, again, mailing is just as good as a pop buy because it's a gift they get in the mail. Everybody hates getting mail. So it's nice to send something in the mail that people like. One of my favorite ones is St. Patrick's Day. Everybody celebrates St. Patrick's Day, even if you're not Irish. So I always do lotto scratchers. This was last year's. I've hit the jackpot having you as a client. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I went to the bank and I was like, give me a bunch of shiny pennies. And they're like, that's not how this works. So I got several rolls of pennies and pulled out the shiny ones and adhered it with a glue dot at the top. My lotto card goes here. My business card goes here. I wax seal it. It goes in the mail. I don't ever use a return of address form because I don't need to. They see my wax seal and they know who it is. So I will have people send me pictures of my wax seal and they're like, I wonder who this is from. I'm like, oh, good thing nobody else does that. That
doesn't have any problem going through the regular mail, wax seal?
No, it's fairly flat. It's fairly flat. If you mess it up and then you put more wax on top of it and then you mess it up again and you put more on top, at that point, it's very thick and you have a problem. But no, usually it's fine.
Good to know.
This year, I did wishing you a lot of luck this St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So something fun that people will enjoy rather than just a postcard in the mail. If you are sending postcards and you have a significant other, or if you have a close friend that you hang out with a lot, take your postcard and put it in their mailbox and then go get the mail with them and see how they react to it. Because I did that with my significant other, my now ex-fiance, and when he was going through the mail, he was tossing things and he just chucked my postcard without even looking at it because he didn't know it was mine. So people don't really look at postcards. Make your mailers interesting. Yeah, people will want to open it if it is a letter as opposed to if it's a postcard. So even if you are doing postcards, consider putting it in an envelope, hand address it. If you are printing out labels, you're doing it wrong because people don't want to look at something with a label. It looks like it's spam. So be really careful with that. Pay somebody to handwrite them. Make sure that you get a handwriting sample first. Let's see. Yeah, that's my wax seal. When I get business, so I get a new listing, I get a new buyer, I have a new buyer call, I don't know, I meet somebody at coffee and it was great. Then if I have their address, I will send them a card. Your first touch to them, because they don't know you yet, you can't be cute. So you've got to be professional. I just do regular KW stationery. You can buy it from Melody. And I always put in there, hey, thanks so much for the opportunity to earn your business. It was such a pleasure meeting you. Make sure that you say opportunity and don't just assume that you have the business. If you assume that you have the business, odds are they probably won't want to work with you just because you made that assumption. So thanks for the opportunity to earn it. People love that. Once you get to know them a little bit better, then you can be cute and send like houses or something relevant. I wouldn't send something with cars because we're not selling cars. So try to keep whatever your stationery is fairly relevant and fairly buttoned up. Once I get a referral in, if it is just I met somebody for coffee or if they wrote me a Zillow review, then I will always send thanks a latte with a Starbucks gift card in it. Yeah, so these came from Target.
Those,
Target.
wow.
Target, you probably got them on Amazon. Thanks a latte. They're blank inside. The inside I always write. I have templates saved on my Dropbox, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. But it'll say, thank you so much for your kind Zillow review. Your words are really meaningful to me. Enjoy, next coffee's on me, something like that. And wax seal it. Once somebody closes and they go, they're officially closed. You worked with them, it's done. The day that they close or the day that we lift all of our contingencies, I just ordered new ones, but I have home anniversary cards. So on the front, they say happy home anniversary. And then they've got a little house. On the back, it says, I'm so thankful for the referral of your friends, family, and business associates, and then my contact information on it. So inside, I'll write something along the lines of, oh my goodness, it's been 1 year already. I hope the first year in your home has been filled with lots of memories, laughter, and fun times. Thank you for letting me be a part of your exciting journey. Wax seal it. I've got, actually, this is what one of these is. And then I leave it on my desk. It says, July 15th, 2021 is when this will go out. And this was Thomas McHugh, closed last July. So this will go out in July and it'll just sit on my desk for a year. But that way I don't miss anyone because I'm not going to go back and do it later. So I try to get it done as I go. If you're updating command, write a quick card. People love it. Once I have somebody go under contract on something, not really a pop by, but more of a delivery / mail, I send them Tiff Streets. Tiff Streets, if you're not familiar with them, are warm cookies that show up at your door. It's amazing. It's $17 for a dozen cookies, and they're all delicious. So they have something called a Tiff's Mix, which is one of all of them. You have to pick out your flavor in half dozens. So I will send a dozen cookies of the Tiff's Mix, which is 2 of each. And you can add a card to it. So my card always says, congratulations on your sweet new home, warmly, Paige, because they're warm, sweet cookies. So I will send a text message to my clients to let them know that these are on the way. And they say, it says like, hey, congratulations on being under contract on your new home. Be on the lookout for Tiff Streets, cookie emoji. They're going to be making a delivery, small truck emoji, to your home, enjoy, something like that. Again, they're saved as a template, those texts are, in my notes section of my phone so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So just copy, paste, send it. If you become an elite member through Tiff Streets, it's $50 a year. You're going to spend like $10 on shipping anyway, delivery. Elite members get delivery for free. So, and then you'll get coupons and stuff too, which is awesome. So if you become an elite member, your shipping's always free. It's super easy to send cookies with them. I'm always doing it. And like, God forbid a transaction goes south, which we had one go south on Friday, resolved today. The other agent exit, we had multiple offers. We were verbally under contract. The other seller's assistant accidentally sent the wrong contract to the seller, who blindly signed it, bound it, and sent it back to the wrong agent.
Oh, Lord.
And put their seller under contract, for $15,000 less than us with a conventional loan and a 30-day closing. We were higher in cash and a 2-week closing. So my guys were horrified. So they got cookies. So it helps brighten the mood if they're under contract, soften things if they go wrong. Let's say you're under contract, it falls out, something went bad. Send them cookies. We'll get the next one. Next one will be better. You know, something like that. We did end up going under contract with them. We had the backup, and they had a bunch of stuff come back in due diligence, and the seller said it's as is, take it or leave it. They backed out. We got it, which was great. But little things along the way that help make your person feel better, right? So that is my pop buys. Those are some of my mailers that I love to do. And that is my emails as well. Yeah. Okay, so my mailers, this guy, they're super cute. I made them, and I am not artistic or a graphic designer. I made them for free. The website I used is called Canva. Canva is a free website, or you can buy the membership, C-A-N-V-A. And I bought the membership because I use it all the time, but it'll help you make your social media posts. It will animate social media posts, which is cool. It will, you can type in, this was a template, I just changed the font. I typed in St. Patrick's Day, boom, pot of gold, cool. This took me 5 minutes to make. I went to Home Depot, or not Home Depot, oh gosh, I live at Home Depot. I went to Office Max and printed them there. Super duper easy, they cut them for you too at Office Max if you ask nicely. So Canva for making stuff, or Marist ink she'll charge you a little bit of money to make them for you if you don't have the time, if you just don't want to. I would recommend playing around on Canva. Super awesome for your pop buys. Any question on that?
I'm curious to find out if you've ever had any of your clients score big when you gave them a scratch off.
The most anyone's told me is $20. But it's still nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's fun because they'll send you a text and they'll say, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen. And I'm like, oh, I got $1. Cool. But it's a nice touch that they reached out to me. If I sent them a postcard that was a just sold, I probably wouldn't have gotten a text message. I sent them a lotto ticket, and for like those 30 seconds, they had something to do that was engaging.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna jump to, let's talk about once you have the business. So you got a listing, what are some things that you can do to market to that listing? So the first thing I always do is a candy dish. So not Tiffany's, but I'll have a candy dish that I provide with candy. And I will have my sellers write a love letter to the buyers coming in. So every single buyer I've ever had walks into a house, there's only women's clothes in the closet, and they're like, oh, it's a divorce. Well, it might be a reload, and you might have already gone to Canada. I don't know. Let's not make assumptions. So and they're like, oh, you can get a great deal. Or they say, oh, they've got all this kid stuff everywhere. They're busting at the seams. That's why they're moving. And they go through the closet. I'm like, you've got to stop. So I now have my sellers write the story for the buyers. So the story that they present, be it true or not, whatever it is, I will reformat it and frame it and put it next to my candy dish. So when they first walk in, all the buyers already see, hey, there's a bunch of flyers. There's a list of upgrades, 2 separate things that the buyer can take with them when they leave, alongside a letter that the seller has written intentionally to those buyers. We love living here. Our house is amazing. Our neighborhood is great. We're positioned in the best spot of the neighborhood, and we have cookouts with our friends all the time that live down the street. We hate to move, but we're relocating for work. There are no questions. My buyer now knows these folks are relocating for work. Marketing inside the listing. Silent sellers. You cannot be present for you shouldn't be present for those buyers that are coming in if they have another agent. That agent probably hasn't seen that listing before. So you want to highlight and emphasize some of the things that are in the property already. The way to do that is through silent sellers. You will type out, print, cut, laminate, if you want to do it the way I do it, and stick throughout the house cool feature facts. Or, hey, don't miss this awesome Sub-Zero refrigerator, because an agent that maybe doesn't sell luxury doesn't know that a Sub-Zero refrigerator is something that's actually notable in a property, especially if you're at a lower price point and perhaps your seller was a chef and went all out on the fridge. Or, hey, make sure you open this closet so you can see how cool our built-ins are, because buyers will walk right by it and they won't open the closet. So if you've got cool features, you want to highlight those. If you don't have a single thing that's cool about the house, make it cool and say, look at these awesome parquet floors. You got wood floors. So, they're radiant. So, something like that. Wow, lots of natural light next to a window. Make it cool. You want the buyer coming in to feel special. Even if there isn't a lot of special stuff, you can make it special. Candy too. It sounds silly, but we believe in the smile factor. We being me and the stager that I bring in, believe in the smile factor. So if we can get the woman, who's usually the deciding factor, smile at least 3 times within a 30-second span of walking in the house, you are more likely to get an offer than if you didn't have that. Another thing to do, marketing for your listing, play music. Make sure you tell your seller to play music. If they don't have an Amazon Alexa, they'd be like, hey Alexa, play jazz. Buy them one. You're gonna make, if the average sales price in Atlanta is $300,000, you're gonna make $9 grand on them. Spend the $75 and buy an Amazon Alexa. They'll go tell all their friends, dude, my realtor bought me an Amazon Alexa. She wants me to play jazz music when we're gone. And their friends will be like, that's weird, but cool. That's nice. I might need a realtor. Can I have her contact? So something to consider as well. Make sure that they play it, ask them if they have one. If not, buy it for them. I buy all my stuff in bulk. So I've got a bunch of Amazon Alexas and Tiffany's and all this gifts stored away, so I don't have to run out and try to buy them. Amazon does put their Alexas on sale every now and then. That's when I buy them in bulk. All right.
So do you turn the Alexa on during open houses and other times when you've just got an agent bringing their client in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just tell the owner, hey, turn on the Alexa before you go.
Literally, tell Alexa to play jazz music. Hey Alexa, play jazz music. They'll start playing jazz music. It's a nice touch.
That's great.
Yeah, it's super easy. Old people can do it. I install it for them. I'm like, look, I just plugged it in and hooked up to your Wi-Fi, and now you have music. They think you're a wizard. So something that you may enjoy. And something that's relatively inexpensive that not a lot of other agents are going to do. When you do get that listing and you want to market to everybody else that's in the area, I built my business on door knocking. Door knocking is amazing. I go to Whole Foods and I buy 3 wishes. It is $2 chuck. It is literally $3, right? I've got red and white. I buy crates of them, and people will, and I ask for a deal like I do with the plants, right? I'm about to buy a bunch of cases of these. What kind of discount are you giving me? So usually the manager will give you a discount. I have what's called the wine wagon, where I hire my handyman, who's a man, so it's a little bit more safe as a single woman walking through a neighborhood, right, in heels, a skirt. And he will drive this wagon full of wine, and I will have on me a bottle of wine with a super cute tag that says there's no crying in real estate, but you can always wine, Paige Face, Keller Williams. And I just hang it on the wine bottle. And so I knock on the door, people come to the door, hey, I don't want what you're selling. I'm like, oh, well, actually I'm Italian and I wanted to gift you wine. I'm a realtor, we've got a listing down the street, and we just wanted to celebrate for the neighbors down the street or your new buyers or whatever it is. Do you want red or white? It's free. I'm like, it's free? And you're like, yeah, it's awesome, it's free, red or white. And so you give them a bottle of wine, and now they have something from you. And then at that point, you can ask them a series of questions if you feel like the comfort level is there. Those questions can be something along the lines of, hey, you know, that house down the street, I gotta tell you, we had multiple offers on it, so cool. We had 12 other people that wanted that property. Only one person got it. So I've got 11 folks that are looking in your neighborhood. If you had to guess, who would you say is gonna be the next person to sell in your neighborhood? And then they'll tell you, oh, I think, you know, ABC Apple Street. You're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Why would you say that? I'm like, oh, well, you know, their kids are growing up. I'm like, oh, okay. I write that down after I leave, and then I make sure I farm to them religiously like crazy. Every week, they're gonna get something in the mail from me, a CMA, a letter, hey, oops, yikes letter, we were a buyer, we missed out on this property, something every single week. Eventually, they'll call you, and they'll tell you, stop mailing me, or come over for a listing presentation. So Another thing that you can ask these people that come to the door when you're gifting them wine is, hey, I am actually sending out, I'm an expert in the neighborhood, and I'm sending out a newsletter to everybody in the neighborhood with your comps. So anytime something goes active, pending, or sold, would you like an update on that? It's free. And usually they're like, I don't know. And you're like, it's just an email. If it gets to be too much, you let me know and I'll turn it off. And I say, okay, well, sure. So that way I capture their email address. Now they're getting my newsletter as well as I'm setting them up on a client portal in the MLS so they can get the comps for their neighborhood. Door knocking is free if you don't do it with wine. If you don't do it with wine, bring a CMA with you. Bring a flyer of your neighbor's house that just sold. Knock on the door and say, hey, I'm giving everybody the comps in the neighborhood. I'm a realtor down the street and we just sold this one. We had a bunch of offers on it. Who do you think would want to sell next? I'm just trying to pound the pavement and be the best agent I can be for my buyers. People love that. So try to come from a place of caring. Try to help people. What would you want if someone was knocking on your door? Wine would be great, but a CMA would be awesome. Yeah. Cool. My open houses, everybody gets a bottle of wine as well. So I don't want the wine open, I don't want spills, I don't want crumbs. So I have wine and I have closed bags of popcorn. Thanks for popping by my open house. Made it on Canva for free. I put them on there so even if you don't drink wine or you've got kids, they can have popcorn, pop it at home so I don't get greasy fingerprints throughout the house. My sellers love it. The buyers coming in, it's a really great touch. And you can give it to them on their way out the door. So when they're coming in the door, I hand them my iPad with the Open House app on it. It's literally called Open House. It's a blue icon. And you have to fill out everything in a form that you set up. So I set up first name, last name, email, phone number, when you think you want to buy. 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 months to a year. They have to fill out everything. They hit submit. I get more accurate information from my Open House app. I look like a professional because I handed them an iPad, and it captures all that information for me. Puts it in a spreadsheet, goes to my newsletter. So they're getting my newsletter, but also I can follow up with them, and I can send them an email that says, hey, thanks so much for stopping by my open house. Attached is a letter that my sellers wrote to you. So it's a love letter. So hey, if you're considering buying this house, here's why my sellers love the home. If you're considering buying another house, I would be happy to represent you in that sale. And then I can follow up in text. I can follow up in phone call. When I follow up in a text message, like I said, I do video. So I've got one video that is my quick intro. It's 30 seconds long. My intro video goes to everyone. It's very buttoned up. And it's got a lot of B-roll in it. So it's not just me sitting there talking the whole time. It's like me on the phone, me making flower arrangement, me lighting a candle, me walking down the stairs. I don't know, it's weird, but it works and people love it. So consider if you're doing video, go either really professional or go very guerrilla grassroots and do selfie videos, but do one or the other, don't mix them. So if you are planning on doing selfie videos, only do that. If you are only doing selfie videos, you can make them more catered to the person, where you can say their name and you can say, hey, Marissa, it was so great meeting you at my open house today. Thanks so much for coming. If you ever need anything, this is my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. If you're going to do the button up video, that's great too. I'm happy to send you my videographer's information. That video goes to everyone. New buyers, new sellers. I get a referral in. I met someone at a coffee shop, whoever it is. They're always going to get that video. Okay. Any questions on that? Awesome. So back to our listings. Aside from door knocking, things that you can do, the stationery, I think is less than $1 a card. So I will handwrite in here whenever, as long as the neighborhood isn't like 400 houses, I will handwrite in a card, hey, great news. We just hit the market at ABC Apple Street. We are listed at X price. And if you have any buyer friends that are looking in the area, now's your chance to pick your neighbors. So give me a call. I put my business card in it, I mail them off. Once we go under contract, oh my God, we went under contract in 2 days. Holy cow. If you have friends that are still interested, let me know. I have others coming up. They might like. Drop it in the mail. We sold. Hey, we just sold. It was great. Now that we're sold, I can tell you we sold with 11 offers in this many days for this price, which is this % over asking. So if you're considering selling, I can get you an amazing deal and I can exceed your expectations. We might be able to sell it off market. Give me a call and let's meet. So ways besides door knocking, if you feel like that's unsafe or you don't want to get out there or it's 100 degrees outside, you can send mailers as well. If you're going to do an open house, there is something called slide dial and slide broadcast. Slide dial would be if you're dialing one person and you want to go directly to voicemail and leave a pre-recorded voicemail. Slide broadcast is if you are dialing to an entire neighborhood and you are announcing that you have an open house coming up. And you want to share with them that, hey, I've got an open house coming up. It's going to be Saturday from 2 to 4, but I've got a neighborhood preview at 1 o'clock. So come by an hour early before the other buyers get there. Bring your friends with you and see what the neighbor's house looks like. And if you're considering selling yours, let's talk during our agent preview or our neighbor preview, and feel free to drop by. If you come by, I'll give you a free bottle of wine. People love that. So
How many bottles of wine you normally go through at an open house?
oh my gosh, I go through maybe a case. It depends on how many people show up. A lot of people won't take it, surprisingly. People won't take it, but they'll take the popcorn or they'll take the flyer. It just depends. Some people don't drink.
My friends would take it.
Yeah. I have some people that love it, and they're like, oh gosh, which one's best? I'm like, there's 4 different kinds. Take one of all of them. And they're like, what? I'm like, and so they take all of them, and I'm like, yeah, whatever you want. I just gave somebody 4 bottles of wine. Odds are they're gonna call me when they need the buyer's agent.
And it cost you $12.
$12 for a lead, and I'm gonna make $9,000 if they're 300. Yeah. Okay, so that is how I do my open houses. That's how I market a listing. That's how I do a lot of my pop buys and my events. Questions so far? Cool. We're flying.
What's in the box?
Closing gift. So on my closing gift, so again, like along the way, so what I used to do is it would be time for a closing. I'd be like, shit, I'm gonna be there in an hour. What's the closest Kroger to organic? And then I would run to Kroger and I would like pick out a $70 bottle of wine or champagne. My client doesn't know that that's $70 worth of champagne, but whatever. And I put it in a bag that I found by the cashier. And then I'm like out of breath and late to get to my closing. They're like, that's cool, thanks. And the other agent gave them like a hand-painted rendering of their house, right? So my wine looks kind of sad. So what I started doing now is the smile factor. So just like when you walk into a listing, you want to get smiles along the way. How can I wow and impress my sellers or my buyers and gift them things? So after I meet them, I send them a card in the mail. Thank you so much for the opportunity to earn your business. If I take a listing before we hit the market, they're going to get flowers from me. Something to brighten your home before our first showing. Congratulations on being on the market and taking the first steps on your new journey to homeownership in Woodstock as opposed to Fall Ground, which is, then once we go under contract and the due diligence contingency is lifted, my sellers are going to get tips traits similarly to my buyers. Congratulations on your sweet new contract, warmly Paige. Once we go to closing, I have these in bulk. It looks great. It looks a heck of a lot better than my old wine bottles did. It is $50. My champagne that I was buying was like $70, $80. This is only $50. If you go to Tiffany's and you tell them you're a realtor, they will give you a business account. So even if you don't want to buy your closing gifts there, you can still get 15% off your Tiffany's jewelry, as long as it doesn't have gold or diamonds. So I will always get Tiffany's for my clients is 2 tall stem wine glasses. They have stemless as well. They're $35, but it's like $25 with your discount, $50 in total, and it looks great. $50, looks great. So I will always do Tiffany's for my closing gifts. Even if you close with me 100 times, you're gonna get something. I try to do something different. They have that, they have a candy dish. The candy dish is more expensive. It's like $195 after your discount. I've done really cute dog treat canisters, super adorable for my millennials that are buying $500,000 homes for whatever reason. They love it for their dog, and they open it and like, oh my God, Fufu's gonna love this. Yeah. So, and then I make a note of it, Fufu. They love that dog, so I will send them dog treats later, because dog treats are probably gonna hit home with them a lot more than Tiff's treats. So maybe 6 months from now, I'll add a reminder in my calendar to send them dog treats. No reason, just Kai is like, who's enjoying their new yard? People love it. So consider if they have a pet and they love their pet. Most people love their dogs more than their kids. How can I appeal to the dog? I live in a luxury condo complex. We have an indoor dog park. And so at my indoor dog park, there are a bunch of ritzy ladies with purse dogs. And we have, and so we've got an AstroTurf green space in this air conditioned room with a dining room table. And so we'll have doggy birthday parties. And I have started leaving a bowl of dog treats on the table. And they say, your dog deserves a bigger backyard.
Yes.
So, and my contact information. Nobody's said anything about it yet. So I'm going to keep filling that up with dog treats. But there are ways to appeal to your neighbors that are really cute. Another thing that I've done for neighborhoods, like I said, I live in a condo complex, so I'm near the shops of Buckhead or next to Buckhead Theater. I wish that I had a neighborhood pool. That would be phenomenal. We don't have one of those.
I was gonna say, what could you leave in a pool?
So better than that, food truck.
Well, I was thinking about that for kindergarten roundup.
Yes, so kindergarten roundup, I did chalk. So you can get like a bucket of chalk and then cello bags that are really small. It'll actually fit 3 pieces perfectly. And then inside I put something and it was like something about chalked up, like chalk it up to something. There's something there. Yeah. So I did that for an open house one day. We did a mega open house. So I had a food truck that my lender helped me pay for. I had chalk for the kids. I had doggy treats for the dogs. I had just about anything that you could want was there. The whole neighborhood came out. It was great because it was by the pool. So even people that were going to the pool like stopped by my open house. It was so busy. So if you don't have an open house but you want to do something for your neighborhood, you can bring in a food truck. You're not necessarily responsible for paying for the food truck, but you can say, hey, everybody gets a free appetizer. Or hey, if you drop by and you don't want to buy anything, you will get a voucher in the mail from me for whatever. And you can work something out. Waffle House has food trucks. That's really fun. So Sunday you can do mimosa. You can have a mimosa bar. Maybe, I don't know if that's COVID safe, but maybe in a couple months. So you could have maybe a mimosa bar next to the food truck. So when people are ordering their food or waiting for their food, they can come over and get a mimosa from you and you can tell them about whatever is going on in the market, have CMAs for the neighborhood ready, and then do something that way. So that would be really fun. So that's that. CMAs. Speaking of CMAs, so every year I will send all of my clients to CMAs. So I send one in the spring and I send one in the fall. So in the springtime, my CMA will say, hey, don't forget to file homestead. By the way, what is homestead? Here's a definition. Make sure that you fill that out. Here's a copy of your tax records because you'll need some of the information in here to fill out your homestead. And here's the website that you go to, and here's how you're eligible, and here's what that means. I love it. I get more of a response from my CMAs than I do, surprisingly, from some of the other more fun things that I do. Because people want to know what their neighbor is selling for. And they'll go on Zillow, and they'll see what their estimate is, and then they'll assume that that's biblically true, that that is the value of their home, and that is not necessarily, as you and I know, the value of the property. But if they can see, hey, this is a property that sold down the street. Obviously, it did not sell at $500,000, and my home is probably not worth $500,000. They have 2 extra bedrooms than I do and a larger yard. In the fall, I send another CMA so they can see how their property has changed in value. And it's spring market versus fall market. They can see it's a little bit slower too. For fund mailer, another one. So
You send me the quick CMA?
Yep, just a quick CMA. I'm not gonna do a whole thing. I've never done a whole thing.
Me either.
I don't know how that is. Nobody wants that. Yeah, I would just do a quick one-liner, ABC, these are the properties. And then additionally, in the fall, I will partner with a photographer every year. So I go to my photographer and I say, hey, guess what? I'm doing a super fun mailer and I'm sending these out to 200 of my clients and I want to gift them a photo shoot from you. So I know that your photo shoots, Vanya, usually run $250, but if you would be willing to do $50 for me, I will send a free coupon to 200 people a lot of those people are gonna come back and order a photo shoot from you, again, in the future, maybe for their kid's birthday or whatever. But in the meantime, at least you're getting some business that way, and you have an opportunity to network. And she always says, yes, my photo shoots are good for one location, one outfit, and 3 to 5 edited photos of your choice, delivered by email. So when somebody redeems it, I get a text from her, hey, do you know who Stephen Brosh is? I'm like, oh yeah, Stephen, he's one of my clients. She's like, hey, just checking. He ordered a photo shoot for this day. I say, super cool, thanks. I've done over $50, done. They come back, now they've got photos for their Christmas cards, photos for their dog's Instagram page, photos for their dating website. I don't know what they're using them for, but I put on my photo card, hey, if you need new pictures for your LinkedIn, or if you need new pictures for your engagement, or whatever it is, Vanya's great. And I partnered with her, it's free. So that was really cool. And then Christmas cards as well. If you're gonna do Christmas cards, keep it general, holiday. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. Text messages are just as important as calling and sending mail. People love it. So I will set reminders to send text messages, and there are a bunch of app platforms that you can send out a bunch of texts at once. If you are using command to send your text messages, know that if that person saves that command phone number in their phone and will later try to call you on that phone number, they will get a recording that says it's not a valid phone number.
Mm.
So I would urge you to consider one of the paid apps as opposed to using the command version. My friend uses the command version all the time. I'm like, Vince, you gotta stop doing this, because it comes in as Vince Crane, and then when I'm in the car and I'm like, hey, call Vince, it calls the wrong number and it says it's not in service. So maybe not do the command one for that. Command's great for a lot of things, but not for text. But set reminders in your calendar. I've got one for 4th of July, I've got one for New Year's. I plan out all of my marketing usually around October the year before, including text messages. Fun things to send in the mail. National Donut Day and National Ice Cream Day is coming up. So my goal right now is to figure out, where can I get donut certificates or ice cream certificates? One is in June and one is in July. So they're getting donuts or ice cream. I'm not entirely sure what platform we're going to be doing that with yet, but my clients will be getting some kind of sweet treat in July, something to sweeten your summer. There's always something cute there. And then lastly, so you can buy magazines. So I bought around Woodstock and around Canton, and I got a heck of a lot of business out of it. It was $3,000, and I got at least one deal off of it, so I got more than $3,000 as a return. You interview with them, and they will write up a nice, like, 1, 2, 3 about you. There are a ton of available covers and available centerfolds in magazines that are not just Woodstock, Canton, Cumming, Alpharetta, Marietta, wherever you specialize in, you can buy this. I bring this with me to every single listing appointment, and I have it tabbed to the center so that people will just open and flip to it and they can read about me there. It goes with my listing presentation, usually curried to my listing prior to me getting there. So when I get to my listing appointment, we're only going to be discussing your comps and your goals, and how we're going to achieve that with a listing and a marketing strategy that is curated to them. So if you are looking for something that's pretty turnkey and pretty easy, but a little bit more on the luxury side, this is a good way to go.
Paige, can you repeat not the entire sentence, just the two companies that you just said?
For the magazine?
Yes. I think
I used around Woodstock.
around Woodstock. Okay.
They had around Canton. They had the In-Towner is another one. That
Who is they?
very
It's a particular publisher.
around Woodstock. Yeah, that's it. You can go on the Google and type in Atlanta magazine.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you went with a certain company and they were producing it just for you. You're saying you advertise in the magazine.
Yes, you can advertise.
Okay.
If you were
Yeah, I misunderstood. We have it here in Smyrna. I get it. Okay.
If this Smyrna, I looked into them. They're great. They're about the same price, like $3 grand or $5 grand, something like that. You get one deal off of it. It covers your entire price to do it, and it gives you marketing. make sure you ask them for a bunch of them. I asked for 100 extra copies and make sure they printed out 100 extra ones. If you're doing a local publication such as Smyrna, which I think is literally just called Smyrna Magazine. So if you do something like that, make sure you ask for extra so that you can use it for your marketing as well. And then you'll get a plaque. Okay. When you are going to listing presentations and you're bringing that with you, our office, I have been told, is buying a hardbound binder. So it'll bind your books hardback, which is super duper cool. I have one at Engelbolger's. My other office at KW Perimeter had one. We're getting one too. So it is a hardback binder. It'll make your listing presentation look a little bit more luxurious than the I think that's called Uniminder, which is what I've been currently using in the interim until we get those in. So if you are going and you're to a listing presentation and you're bringing comps with you, please don't staple them together and bring them to your listing presentation. Please put them in some kind of book form. When you have it, it should be, if you want to do it the way I do it, a quick CMA. I tell everyone use this as a table of contents for the following pages, my quick CMA. This is everything that's active, pending, and closed in your neighborhood. We flip to the next page, and it is actually the agent full, and then the photos. So you can look through all of the comps. They are bound together, so you don't have a bunch of pieces of paper flying around the table, and it is not a stapled quick CMA. So very easy to do that. And then when you are doing it, you can tab them so you can easily flip through your comps. So it's great for objection handling when I've got a seller that goes, my house is worth 500,000. I know it's 450, but Zestimate over here thinks it's 500. So how do we combat that? We have our comps with us and we can flip through the pictures. And I say, I get that you think that, but this one has an extra bedroom, which is at least 10 grand on an appraisal. And they've got a 2-car garage, which is probably 15 on an appraisal. So we're already off. Let's look at the comps on that line. And we look at it together. And they're like, oh, wow, yeah, I probably would want to save $50,000 and buy that one instead. So having your comps with you is awesome. And having them bound is great. Cool. And remember, they already got your publication if you have one and your listing book before you got there. So they already know you're a professional. Farming and cold calling. Do you guys do any cold calling? No? Yeah? I know, it kind of sucks. Yeah. So I still do it. I still do it. So if you are farming, if you're cold calling for sale by owners, know especially around bulb season, everybody that is KW is calling for sale by owners. And those people usually don't like it when you call them the first or second time, but if they have been on the market for a very long time, eventually people are going to stop calling them and you will be one of the only ones that is still calling them. So what I used to do, which is a little bit antiquated, but it worked really well for me. I'm a paper person. So I would go on Zillow and I would print out the for sale by owners. And on the back of that individual page, because their contact information is at the bottom, the seller's contacts at the bottom, I would print it out. I would give them a call. Every time I talked to them, I would log date, conversation, voicemail, whatever it was. And I would keep a log of that and I keep it in a binder. And so that was really effective for me to keep track of who was who. And I mailed them every 2 days. Every 2 days, they got a letter in the mail from me. And it was on KW stationery and it was wax sealed. So they're going to stick, your name is eventually going to stick to that person if you just keep following up with them. And there are a lot of things on command that you can push out to put them on a drip campaign. And eventually you will get them if you continuously follow up. And if the first time you talk to a for sale by owner, it goes horrible, that's fine because they're not going to remember you. But like the 15th time, they might remember you. So come from a place of helping because everybody's calling and everybody wants the listing. But perhaps what you can offer them is a CMA in their neighborhood, put them on a drip campaign so that they have a client portal access. They can see what's active and pending around them, what goes under contract as they see it. Offer to come and give them an evaluation of their property. Tell them that you may have a buyer that would fit for them, that you have to go and tour the property in person first and bring the comps with you when you do it. Yeah, so that's how you would do it to your for sale by owner. I've had a lot of success with that. Door knocking and FISBOs, open houses is how my first year really got going and my second year really took off. Cool. Expireds, there might be a reason why it's expired. So they probably don't like realtors at that point, or still by owners don't like them because everyone's calling them. But FSBOs don't like that, or expires don't like them because somebody messed up and told them, hey, your house is worth 500 when it's worth 450. So if you're going to call them, be gentle and offer them the same things that you would, but make sure you're consistently following up with them. And then drop them mail every couple days. Put something in the mail for them, including CMAs. Every time something goes under contract, you can set, if you have a great conversation with one, you can set like an alert for yourself. Like, this is Sam's expired listing. And then I know, hey, as something else went like active or closed in Sam's neighborhood, so I'm gonna mail Sam. Hey Sam, your neighbor just sold, but I see you're still on the market for the 30th day. Your average days on market is 2. And I would provide some sort of assistance to you through X, Y, and Z. Additionally, I have told for sell by owners that I've printed out the Zillow form for them and clicked on contact agent to show them that if you hit contact agent, the call doesn't go to the seller, it goes to your realtor that doesn't want to work with them because they're a FSBO. So something to consider when you're working for sell by owners and you're calling them. Yeah. And then circle dialing is great. So if you are prospecting to a neighborhood, you can circle dial them with a similar script of, hey, I've got a lot of buyers in the area. We're looking to find something off market because there is nothing available. Who do you know that wants to buy or sell or invest this year? I would be happy to help them. Yeah. So circle prospecting has been fantastic. Right. That was a lot of information. I think I'm gonna stop there.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome,
So
Paige.
that's what I've got so far. Questions?
Yes, you mentioned the texting, group text.
There's a texting app. I deleted it for space, I think. Let's see, I might still have it. There are a lot of them. I got this one from Aubrey. Reach. Reach is the texting app.
And let me ask you too, on your newsletters that you send out, the email blast, are you using your personal email address or do you use Keller Williams? Because a lot of my stuff I think goes to spam.
So if it is business, I use my KW. If it's personal, I'll use my Gmail. So because my email blasts are work, it'll go through my KW email that's associated with my MailChimp.
Okay.
You can also send other surveys through MailChimp, like I mentioned. So if you have a client appreciation event and you want feedback on, hey, I'm planning a client appreciation event, what are some things you would want to see? Like a Porsche driving experience is probably something I'll do for my top tier clients this year. I'll probably do maybe another cooking class depending on how things go with some clients that haven't done that yet, because it's been a couple years. And then I'll get with Sean and we'll figure out something else. Right now, you can rent a movie theater for $100 at Phipps. Yeah, and you can do private movie experience at Phipps, or I did it the other day. So $100, awesome.
What movie did you choose?
I have to ask my friend, I don't remember. I don't remember the name of it.
Family movie?
They have a list of movies. So $100 is the cheapest one. They're the older reels that they happen to have. Movie theaters are trying to stay alive, so they'll probably cut a deal with you. I have had some people where they're mega agents and they hired a videographer to make a commercial for them. And they play their ad as a movie preview prior to the movie. And it's some sort of gratitude video. Like, I'm so thankful for my business, like hugging on a client, like opening a door, doing cool stuff. So that's a really, really neat touch. If you're gonna do a big client appreciation event, make sure you spend the money and hire a photographer. Because maybe the photographer that you're gonna partner with later in the year. And that way, anything that you get back, you can send your clients those photos. They'll use it for their social media, but you can use it for yours too. Another thing that I've heard, last thing that I'm done. So back on photographers, if you have clients that you love and you know they're first time home buyers, you can say to them, I have a photographer who would be willing to take pictures of you for free with your new home as new home photos to announce it to your friends and family through whatever medium you choose, social media, mailers, whatever it is. I'd be happy to send them out to you. But I was wondering if they take those photos. Do you mind if I use one of them and send it out to your neighborhood as a congratulations, meet the new neighbors? And if they say yes, then you can use that as a mailer to that neighborhood and say, hey, if you're at the pool and you see the White family, make sure you say hi to them. They're super sweet. And by the way, here's a testimonial that they wrote for me. And now you have a testimonial from the White family and their adorable picture with their new baby and their puppy in front of their new house.
Love it.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Great ideas.
Paige, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome.
Any questions? We're good?
I don't have a question page, but I definitely want to shout you out. So my papa is on the way. I took that tip from another session. I'm new, but I'm definitely following you. And I just got off the phone with my consultation with Marist. So I had a consultation at 1:45 and I hopped onto this after. So I'm excited to get started. I love what you're doing. I love the ideas and I love the fact that you're sharing, but because it's enough business for everyone. You're going to put your own spin on it. I just love the energy and I'm so thankful. I'm stalking Marist. So I can't wait.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of this, don't feel like you have to take all of it. If there is one thing, this is a lot. If there's one thing that you're like, wow, that really resonates with me, that's super cool, I would love to put my own spin on that, then do that. And if there's something that you want to sit down and talk about, I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one and we can figure out a marketing strategy that works for your business, what works for other people, won't work for some, and there are ways that you can tweak it. Cool.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paige.
Thank you, Paige.
Yes, my pleasure.
Home now? I'm heading home now.
Yeah, maybe beat that 5 o'clock traffic.
Oh my gosh.
Paige, you have a problem? I'm sorry? No problem.
Oh, what?
Oh, the thing?
Oh, okay, now, I heard Adrian say you had a problem.
Oh, good thing you
You can, oh, no, I don't have one of those. And that's where like I scan it.
Someone mentioned a papa. Was it you or someone I met?
Hey, Adrian.
Oh, okay. Hi, April.
I sent this on Instagram. I love your window.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was worried, looking nervous at first. I'm like, but I like it, because it was purple, and
Yeah, with friction.
yeah.
So the thing
But I
is,
did red and purple, like if you pull it up, like you'll see the bottom of it kind of has like,
well, the best part about KW is you can do whatever
it's
you want.
red.
You know, I've gone through so many logos. I finally found one that I like. It's just my name. But
Yeah.
it's and that's the thing about real estate is that you can keep changing and evolving. Your brand will evolve with you.
But that's why I wanted to do a logo with my name on it, because I want my name on there.
Yes.
And when people see a specific logo or they see something, it's like you look at Subway, you know it's Subway.
Exactly.
You look at Chipotle, you know it's Chipotle.
That's my
It's
wax
a
seal
logo.
for me. My wax seal is based on my logo. You can actually get if you
I was
had
gonna order one, I just didn't know which the right one to order.
you can get your logo put on a wax seal. I wouldn't do this because
No,
there's
it's
you
a lot
wouldn't be
going
able
on.
to see it.
Right.
And the font is so small, but you could do maybe your initials. I love my key. My key one is the one that I use the most. It just happens to be the roses the one I have in the office. And the wax sealers, it's a blue bag. It's so easy. Yeah. It's super easy.
I've been looking on Amazon, there's some different things. So I know I'm about to start with all of my marketing, like probably this week.
That's so exciting.
Because I've been trying to hit Bizbos like crazy.
Yeah.
So
It's
I don't know,
exhausting.
when you get time, maybe we can schedule an appointment if you can, and give me some tips and some pointers.
Do you know who is on, is it Sissy? I think it's Sissy, maybe, that's on ALC. And she like specializes in personal buyers. She's so much better at it than I am. I can give you broad general stuff. I can give you really specific sphere stuff. But when it comes to FISBOs, I think that I might be able to put you in touch with someone that can give you better information. Because she still works them. I don't work them as much anymore. I really try to work my spirit a little bit heavily, but that's just
Yeah,
where
that's where I'm trying to get to, because I'm from Michigan, and like you say, I'm young, so a lot of the people in Michigan,
Yeah.
they're young, they're not trying to buy houses right now.
Exactly.
So I'm just trying to cultivate them and, you know, keep them knowing who I am.
Yeah.
All while trying to build a new spirit of being here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out all the spots I need to go to, where I need to hang out at, what friends do I need to be around. So I'm just trying to start from scratch, pretty much, because I moved out here, I only know a handful of people, not a lot of people our age really, like they're older. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. How old are you? Okay, yeah, you will do just fine. So when you're talking about finding friends, so I went on Meetup. And if you're going to a real estate networking group, you're meeting the wrong people.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So find something that you enjoy where there won't be other realtors. So for me, it was a board game group. So I found a board game group, the Alpharetta Guild of Geeks. I'm part of that. Almost everyone in there is an engineer. So they all have money, they all have jobs, they all are like software developers. I'm one of the only women there, and I'm the only realtor. So it's easy for people to come and talk to me. And I'm, I bring treats or cookies or whatever with me. So the board game groups, they all know who I am, and it's casual conversation. You're like, well, the guys are like, oh, how was work today? Oh, I have this client, and they did this. Like, so try to find a group that doesn't already have a realtor. Yeah, and women's groups too, I probably wouldn't do like something that's female dominated. You're probably gonna get a realtor in there, where men aren't always realtors. It's actually a pink collar career. Yeah. So try to find, that's why I said a lot of my clients are men, because I meet them at like the board game group, or I meet them at whatever. Your church group, if you go to church, they have a group for you, like a small group thing. Something where you can really connect on a spiritual level like that, where you guys have like deep roots in something, be it religious or otherwise, they will send your contact information to everybody. So it's not about necessarily who you know, it's about who the people you know. I had a client call me the other day. She's so sweet. I've actually written in her will that if she ever dies, that when her daughter gets the house, I sell it. So she called me the other day and she's like, hey Paige, I've got a friend who's a massage therapist. He's moving. His house is in Augusta, but I told him you have a realtor out there. Do you mind giving him a call and sending him one of your referrals? So I got a referral of a referral from a referral. Yeah. So and make sure you're asking for Zillow reviews too, from people, even if you haven't closed a deal, from people who already know. So like, hey, she was great. She like took me to tour all these properties. There's an option on your Zillow reviews that is like, I didn't buy anything, but she helped me look for homes. Your friends can fill that out. And when they do, it's great because it will say that you already have like 5 stars for it. It'll give you credibility online. Yeah. So building that credibility online is important.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No. Yeah. But yeah, was there anything in my class that you would want me to cover more of or less of?
No, everything is really good.
Good. Okay.
I like it.
If you think of anything, let me know.
That's really
Cool.
awesome. I love how you talk about all the different ideas though, like that is like stuff that people don't even think of.
Yeah. Oh, I love marketing. So it is absolutely my favorite thing about real estate is being marketing department. I don't like being my accounting department. a couple